A Spy's Confession, New Light on Kim Philby. The year 2025 saw a pivotal moment in espionage history. The release of previously classified MI5 files on Kim Philby sent shockwaves through the intelligence community and beyond. Philby, a high-ranking British intelligence officer, stands as one of the most infamous double agents of the 20th century. His betrayal of Britain for the Soviet Union during the height of the Cold War shook the foundations of Western intelligence. These newly released files offer a fresh perspective on Philby's motives and actions. They paint a more nuanced picture than the simple narrative of treachery that has long defined his legacy. The MI5 files, unveiled through a groundbreaking exhibition at the National Archives in partnership with MI5, contain Philby's own confessions. These documents reveal a man grappling with the weight of his choices. They shed light on the internal conflicts he faced as he navigated the treacherous world of espionage. The files also expose the inner workings of the Cambridge Five, a notorious spy ring of which Philby was a key member. This group, comprised of brilliant young men recruited from Cambridge University during the 1930s, passed secrets to the Soviet Union for decades, leaving a lasting impact on the course of the Cold War. The release of these files marks a significant event. It's the first time in its 115-year history that MI5 has collaborated on such an exhibition. This unprecedented level of transparency reflects a growing willingness to re-examine the past. It also signals an acknowledgement of the complexities inherent in espionage, where clear-cut lines between good and evil often blur. Beyond good and evil, the complexities of espionage. The traditional narrative of espionage often portrays a stark battle between good and evil. Loyal spies fight for their country, while treacherous double agents betray their homeland for personal gain or ideological reasons. However, the case of Kim Philby and the Cambridge Five challenges this simplistic view. Their story reveals the intricate web of motivations, ideologies, and historical forces that shape the world of espionage. Philby's case highlights the subjective nature of treason. What one nation condemns as a betrayal, another might celebrate as an act of heroism. Loyalty and betrayal are not absolute concepts. They are shaped by individual beliefs, political contexts, and historical circumstances. The same actions can be perceived as heroic or treacherous depending on the ideological framework through which they are viewed. Philby and his fellow Cambridge spies were not driven by greed or personal gain. They were motivated by a deep-seated belief in the Soviet cause. They were products of their time, influenced by the political turmoil of the 1930s, the rise of fascism, and the allure of communist ideology. They saw the Soviet Union as a beacon of hope, a society striving for equality and social justice. The MI5 files provide a glimpse into the intellectual and ideological landscape that shaped Philby and his contemporaries. They challenge us to move beyond simplistic notions of good and evil in espionage. Instead, they urge us to grapple with the complex interplay of ideology, conviction, and betrayal that often lies at the heart of these clandestine affairs. From Cambridge to Moscow, Philby's path to espionage. To understand Kim Philby's transformation into a double agent, one must delve into his formative years. Born into a privileged British family in 1912, Philby's path seemed destined for greatness within the British establishment. However, his time at Cambridge University in the 1930s would prove a pivotal turning point. Cambridge was a hotbed of intellectual and political ferment. The rise of fascism in Europe and the devastating effects of the Great Depression led many young intellectuals to question the capitalist system. Communism, with its promise of equality and social justice, held a powerful allure for some, including Philby. It was during this period that Philby encountered a group of like-minded individuals who would profoundly influence his life's trajectory. This group, which included Donald Maclean, Guy Burgess, Anthony Blunt and John Cairncross, would later become infamous as the Cambridge Five. Philby's recruitment into the Soviet intelligence service in 1934 marked the beginning of his double life. He was drawn to the Soviet cause through a combination of factors, including his exposure to Marxist ideology, his disillusionment with British imperialism, and his admiration for the Soviet Union's economic and social progress. The Soviet allure, ideology, and conviction. Kim Philby's decision to betray his country was not rooted in a thirst for money or power. It stemmed from a deep-seated ideological conviction. He genuinely believed that the Soviet Union, despite its flaws, represented a better future for humanity. He saw communism as a force for good, a system that could create a more just and equitable world. Philby's belief in the Soviet cause was strengthened by his first wife, Litzy Friedman, a committed communist who played a significant role in shaping his political views. Her unwavering faith in the Soviet Union and her passionate advocacy for communist ideals resonated deeply with Philby. Throughout his years as a double agent, Philby remained steadfast in his belief that he was serving a higher purpose. He saw his actions not as a betrayal of Britain, but as a commitment to a greater good. He believed that by aiding the Soviet Union, he was contributing to the downfall of capitalism and the establishment of a more just world order. Philby's unwavering commitment to the Soviet cause, even in the face of mounting evidence of Stalin's brutality, highlights the powerful hold that ideology can have on an individual. His story serves as a stark reminder that espionage is not always driven by greed or personal gain. Often it is fueled by deeply held beliefs and a willingness to make extraordinary sacrifices for a cause greater than oneself.